Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering video. So a couple of months ago I stumbled across some 15 card repacks at Dollarama. Prior to that, all of the repacks I'd seen there had either been 10 card commons and uncommon repacks, or the 4 card, I think they're like rares and foils repacks that they've been doing. So this is a new thing that I've been aware of, these 15 card repacks. Like I said, a month or so ago I stumbled across them. I opened up a couple of these on video and it looks like they very roughly map to a regular 15 card booster, in as much as they contain a single rare, 3 uncommons, and the rest are commons. Then I expect it to be roughly around there. There may be some difference in the balance between commons and uncommons as we open more of these, we'll see. But at the time I opened them, I could only find 2 packs. So what I did say when I did the video is if I was able to find 6, I would use them as a sealed pool and I'd build the deck. And it's actually taken me until now to be able to find these. I think they're starting to come out, filter back through again. So like I said, these are at Dollarama. They're $1.50 a pack for 15. So in Canada, where I got these from, with tax on top, yeah, it's a little above basically $10 for 6, which is what you need for a sort of sealed pool. So I'm going to open up these. I'll go through the cards and then I'll build the deck. I'll probably have to do this in 2 videos because it could be quite long, but we'll see. I just don't know what to expect here. These are going to be cards from all over Magic's history, so it's going to be a pretty random deck we're going to be ending up with here. Obviously it's 6 packs, so like a regular sealed pool, like you might do it, say, a pre-release. We're going to build a 40 card deck, and obviously I need to supplement that with some lands I've got kicking around. So let's open this up. They always have these positioned in a unusual way so that you can't see the cards. So we'll see what we get. Also, of course, we have no idea what the colour distribution is going to be like because it's so random. Okay, so we've got Razor Tip Whip. These look like our commons. Sage's Road Denizen. Nav Squad Commandos. So they're more recent cards. We've got a nice Sage card here. Mole Worms. Screeching Scab. Fire Drinker Satyr. So this is our rare. So Fire Drinker Satyr, single red for a 2/1 creature Satyr Shaman. When Fire Drinker Satyr is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to you. 1 and a red, Fire Drinker Satyr deals +1/+0 until end of turn and deals 1 damage to you. Reef Shaman, you can see the old style borders here as well. Mardu Heart Piercer, so more recent sets. Boulder Fall, that was an uncommon. Awaken the Bear. Act of Treason. We have Ghoul Flesh. Court Homunculus. Blur Sliver from M14. And Shrivel. So let's just quickly look at the breakdown in here. So these are all our commons. We have an uncommon. I think that's a common. It's going to be hard to tell on the older sets because I'm not sure with things like Ice Age whether they were using colour coding at that point. Yeah, so without looking the cards up, my guess is what's going to happen with a lot of these packs is we're definitely going to get a rare, we're going to get a certain proportion of uncommons, and then the rest are going to be commons. Okay, Court Street Denizen, Bomber Core, Zarishi Tiger, I think that is, Warpath Ghoul, Cancel. Our rare is Frontier Siege, so 3 in a green enchantment. As Frontier Siege enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. Khans at the beginning of each of your main phases, add 2 green to your mana pool. Dragons, whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Mighty Leap, Rage of Porphyros, Warm Mind Infantry, Stealer of Secrets, Ajati's Breath, Crippling Chill, Sapraloth Ancient, Sliver Construct, and Auramancer. So again, so we can keep tabs on this, because it's always interesting if you're buying these, just so you can see. There's our rare. And it looks like all the rest are commons. So I suppose that's the only thing they really have to hold to, is it does say it includes 1 rare card. So beyond that, you could get anything really. Slaughterhorn, Smite, Metropolis Sprite, another Mole Worm but in a different set, Riptide, Requiem Angel is our rare, so I can tell by the logo on this came from a Commander product. 5 and a white, Creature Angel 5/5, flying. Whenever another non-spirit creature you control dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. It's actually from Commander 2014. I don't know if you can see down in the bottom corner. There, it's got one of the newer sort of borders here, so it's easier to identify the set. Highland Game, Pressure Point, Swift War Kites, that's an uncommon. Hired Torturer, another uncommon here, Horde Ambusher. Relic of Abandon, Sen's Enlistment, Zephyr Charge, and Lava Axe. So look, in that one, in that pack, we've got a more conventional distribution. Again, most of the time there's no lands in these, so you're going to get slightly more cards. And if you know, in a normal pack now, you get, there's a land slot in there. Madcap Skills, Razor Tip Whip, Kingpin's Pet. We got Morphine from Ice Age, Selfless Cather, Warmonger Hellkite, another one from Commander 2014 product, and this is our rare. 4 and 2 red for 5/5 flying. All creatures attack each combat if able. 1 and a red, attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. Master's Call, Vectus Agents, Suntail Hawk, Tranquil Path. Looks fairly recent. Looks like Oath of the Gatewatch, Stalking Drone, Soratami Rainshaper, Sell-Off Occultist, Divine Favour, and Advocate of the Beast. So last couple of repacks now. Kingpin's Pet, Mugging, Scorch Walker, Talon Trooper, Serum Raker, Polish Crusher is our rare. 2 green red for a creature Cyclops, it's a 4/4. Trample protection from enchantments, 4 red green, monstrosity 3. If this creature isn't monstrous, put 3+1/+1 counters on it and it becomes monstrous. Whenever Polish Crusher deals combat damage to a player, if Polish Crusher is monstrous, destroy target enchantment that player controls. Nullify, Vidalcan Outlander, Griff Vanguard, Rotted Hulk, it's another stalking drone, Vidalcan Dismisser, Staunch Hearted Warrior, Giant Spider from M14, Armoured Canecrix, also from M14. So our last pack. Wildwood Rebirth, Court Street Denizen, Bomber Corps, Nameless Inversion, Slate Street Ruffian. So our rare is Mercurial Pretender, 4 and a blue, 0/0 creature shapeshifter. You may have Mercurial Pretender into the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control, except it gains 2 and 2 blue. Return this creature to its owner's hand. Actually, I'll probably switch back in a moment. Invisibility, Barrage of Expendables, Tranquil Path, Demolish, Dive Bomber Griffin, Mistform Dreamer, Nylea's Presence, Thunderstrike, and we've got a shock in here. So just looking at this last pack, there's one of our uncommons. There's another. There's our rare. Yep, so that one. Unless the older one is an uncommon. And there are 2 uncommons in it. Okay, so we've opened all our packs now. And what I'm going to do is stop the video and sort them, because that's pretty boring to do on camera. And then when we come back, I'll sort of talk a bit about the card pool and yeah, some either a single build, or if I see there's multiple builds in here, we'll take a look. Okay, bye for now. Hello, welcome back. So I've sorted the card pool and gone through and just got a general overview. So what I tend to do when I'm doing this, building from a card pool, is I look first at the colours that I don't feel drawn towards, and I try and identify 2. So that leaves me with three colours that I might play. Now that could still leave me the option, if out of those 3 I go down to fewer colours, to then maybe splash the other 2 colours that I've on the whole rejected. So what I'm going to do is just go through my thought process here, and obviously it could be different from your thought process, but this is generally the way I sort of look at card pools if I don't know the format particularly well. Obviously if you're dealing with a more coherent format, then you're going to have some better idea of, you know, what cards are strong, what cards are weak, what cards work because of biases in the set. With some of these I had to basically put them to one side simply because there's no guarantee that that's going to be a thing in someone else's card pool. So this really sort of, I find, is quite a skill tester. So first up, one colour that I don't really feel drawn to in this particular pool is black. I'll just go through. So we've got some removal in the form of nameless inversion. Gives the target creature +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn. It's a changeling tribal instant. On a large enough creature you can use it to obviously pump the power. But with -3 that'll get rid of anything toughness 3 or below. We've got Ghoul Flesh, gives something -1/-1, and makes it a zombie. So you can see these are sort of pretty specific to certain cards. Shrivel will give all creatures -1/-1. Not so good if you're playing weenies yourself. Slate Street Ruffian, whenever Slate Street Ruffian becomes blocked, defending player discards a card. So I don't really want to be playing discard. I mean, it's a 2/2 for 3, but I feel that I need something that synergizes better with that. Then we've got a couple of Mole Worms which tap down land. Again, not something that I really want to do. Hired Torturer is Defender. Amongst other things, it can target an opponent, will lose 2 life, then reveal a card at random from their hand. Again, if you've got to have a synergy going with that, really. Warpath Ghoul, which is a vanilla 3/2 for 2 and a black. Rotted Hulk, another vanilla card, 3 and a black for a 2/5. And Morphiend, 3 and a black, 3/3. It does have Swamp Walk on it. So that's really why I'm putting black to one side. There's nothing in there that I feel really drawn to. You'll also notice there's no rare in there, which of course depends whether the rare's any good or not. Green was another one I didn't feel super comfortable with. You've got this Frontier Siege. So it is going to, and it's sort of modal. We can choose one or the other when it enters the battlefield. So it will give us double green to our mana pool at each of the main phases. And also, or dragons, whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. So I initially was looking at, well, maybe I could build like a red-green aggressive deck. But of course there's a one of in this, and I don't really have any other. We'll have a look, but there's nothing again that really ramps mana. Highland Game, 2 and a green for 2/1 with when it dies you gain 2 life. Couple of Stalking Drones, 2/2s for 1 and a green. But for again here we've got the colourless mana. So I don't know how good this particular card. Again, is it drawing me to play green? Well, not really. Slaughterhorn's got Blood Rush on it. There were some other cards in here with Blood Rush on them actually. Advocate of the Beast. There's not many beasts here. Giant Spider. Well, it's good against flyers. Staunch Heart Warrior. Got to be casting spells to trigger heroic. So you can see there's a lot of situational synergy here which relies on the presence of other cards, and you can see these were very much typical of the set they were in. We've got spore counters on this one. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter on Saprolith Ancient. Creatures you control have removed 2 spore counters from this creature. Put a 1/1 green Saprolith creature token onto the battlefield. Nylea's Presence makes an enchanted land every basic land type in addition to its own, so there's some colour fixing there. It also draws a card so it replaces itself. Awaken the Bear is a pump spell. 2 and a green gives you +3/+3. Return a target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And then something to couple of cards that destroy enchantments. So again, nothing in particular that's drawing me to that. There's a lot of sort of set specific synergies in there, I feel. So looking at, because I've removed some of those, looking at some of the cards which I'm going to take out as well from the 2 colour stuff that I pulled here, the multicolour. Kingpin's Pet is a decent card. I've seen it been played in Pauper. 3 white black for a 2/2 with flying and extort on it. I'm going to put that to one side. I've pulled the black out. You know, I have to ask myself, is it worth me splashing black in one of the other colours, or in white, say, or in 2 colours with a splash, to actually play that? Is it worthwhile? There is a Flyers deck in here, so I'm going to put this over here, over off camera. But you know, I could bring it back in. There's another Flyer here, red and a black, Swift Warkite. Yeah, decent card. Again, I'm going to put that to one side. If I pull black out and I'm not going to really play it again, you know, I could splash black here to just play this, but we'll see. We'll just put that to one side. Don't really want to play Vectress Agents in any form. We've got a Talon Trooper which I'll keep in, and a Vidalcan Outlander because I've still got blue and white here. The Polis Crusher I think is more at home in a set where there's heavy enchantments that you're going up against, and again, you just don't know what card pool you're going to be going up against with this sort of format. We've got a couple of interesting pingers here that do 1 damage for the cost of 1. I'm going to just put them off to one side. I want to see if there's any cards in here which might complement that. I don't think there is, and if I'm desperate, you know, it might be something that I could use, but again, it's damaging a target opponent. And then I've got a single sliver, well, a single artifact sliver. There is another sliver in amongst here, so there is some synergy there. But of course, again, with, you know, probability wise, is that something that I would hit? So I'm now left down with 3 colours: white, blue, and red, and these 2 here. So what I'm going to do now again is I'm just going to stop filming for the moment, and then I'm just going to sort of break these down into some sort of curve. In fact, what I think I'll do is I'll go through the cards and try and pull out the things that I don't really want to play. So before I start laying this out on a mana curve, I'm going to do a bit more thinning. So going back through the different colours, let me just put that over there actually. So in whites, there's a few cards that again I don't really feel comfortable playing. There's some 1/1s for 1. In fact, there's quite a few 1/1s for 1, or cards that generate 1/1s. And then the Auramancer, which in an enchantment heavy deck would be useful, but I don't really see that in my card pool. There is a potential deck in here where 1/1s for 1 might be useful, and I'll show you in a moment, but I'm going to put those to one side. In blue we've got a Reef Shaman here. Target land type becomes the basic land type of your choice until end of turn. I can't remember, but I don't remember seeing any land walk type abilities where that would really work. And again, even if there was, the probability wise, you know, the chance of you drawing both cards when you need it might not be very good. We've got a few awkward red cards as well. We've got Demolish, which, you know, is essentially sideboard material. Boulderfall, which is 6 and 2 red, deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players, but it's pretty high casting cost there. Relic of Abandon, this works well with creatures with very large toughness. All creatures get +2, -2 until end of turn. And there's quite a few cards within my pool that have 2 toughness, so that would get rid of those. Barrage of Expendables, a single red and sacrifice a creature. Barrage of Expendables deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Don't think so. And this Fire Drinker Satyr, single red 2/1. Whenever Fire Drinker Satyr is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to you 1 and a red, 5 drinks a tier, gets +1/+0 into end of turn, and deals 1 damage to you. I don't see here like a real hyper aggressive deck. I always have problems playing decks which do damage to you and just managing that resource, so it's not something that I'm particularly proficient at playing, so I'd probably put that to one side. So just going what I've got so far, the couple of things I see in here in the cards I'm going through, there is definitely a blue-white flyers deck in here. We've got some white creatures, ground creatures. We've also got some blue flyers in here towards the end, but we also had some other. There's several there. We also had some other flyers, and there's a lot of blue bounce and removal. So there's almost like a blue-white control flyers deck in here. I might have to reintroduce some of the one of the smaller flyers over there to round it off, but you know, that could be a thing with what we've got here. And we've got our Talon Trooper as well. The other thing I noticed is there is potential in here for a sort of red-white aggressive deck. We've got a Warmonger Hellkite, some removal here. We've got Mugging, Shock, Rage of Porphyros, Lava Axe. We've got Bomber Court with Battalion on it. Horde Ambusher I'm not sure about at the moment. Warmind Infantry's got Battalion. We have this Lone Sliver. It does have haste on it, but again that might come out in the final analysis. Some raid cards, Blood Rush, some pump spells in red, another pump spell, and an act of treason. So I feel that the red-white aggro is a possibility. There's some more Battalion cards there. Some pump, some removal, some tap down, and another piece of pump there. So yeah, that's a thing. I don't think I would play this unless I was particularly desperate. I suspect the sliver, I don't know, it might go with the red one, but again, what's the chances of pulling both of those? So I just put that to one side. So this is where I'm sort of at now, is that I've got this potential blue-white control flyers, but also more of a red-white aggressive deck. Blue-red might be an interesting possibility. Some flyers with like counter burn type thing could be an interesting combination. But what I think I really need to do now is start laying this out on a curve, the different color combinations, and seeing, you know, how that shapes up. So I've laid my blue and white cards out on a curve. There's at the moment there's 31. We've got too much here. We need to get this down to around 23, 22 cards, so we're playing like 17 or 18 lands. Straight away there's a couple of things I would probably remove. This Screeching Scab just doesn't belong. It's a self-mill card, so I don't really need that. Just checking a few things here. So one thing I've noticed with this is we've got like a bump here. There's an awful lot of 3-drops. There's quite a lot of few of our, got some flyers here. We've also got our removal. There is a very low casting cost smite here, and I think that might be it in terms of until we get to our 3 drops here. So we could potentially have a lot going on, or the potential for a lot going on. So to make this work, really, you'd have to do some really serious cutting back here to get it down to 23. But as I mentioned, there's it's quite a number of flyers in the deck. So we have like I say, a blue-white flyers deck with some control cards. Unfortunately, yeah, again they're all around. Actually, sorry, there's one there that goes down. That may be a bit better, but that can only target a creature or an aura spell. So it's pretty selective. The other problem with this, even with playing 2 colours, trying to cast something that's 2 of a certain colour can be very problematic. And sometimes it's actually a good idea, just on a build, I think myself, is to remove some of these and just see whether that helps. I've had several instances where even in an equal colour two colour deck, I've ended up with something with a 2 colour casting cost just stuck in my hand. So I'm just going to take those out. But hopefully you're getting an idea here. Really the purpose of this video is just to sort of look at a particular approach to this. I'm probably not necessarily going to end up with a final build on this. Sometimes it's nice with these videos to leave it a bit open-ended and give people something to think about. But that's what, if I was looking for like a blue-white build, I'd be moving towards this. There's still a few more cards to pull out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25. Well, that's not too bad. So we just got a few more pulls. What I tend to do is often I'll look up towards the higher end cards and just see if there's anything here that's over costed, and when it comes into play is not really going to help me out that much. I might consider maybe taking that out. With the Mercurial Pretender, it's nice if you have something else to basically clone, to make a copy of, something useful. So this is where I'd sort of probably settle around for a sort of blue-white build. Okay, so I'm going to move on to another colour combination now. So this is the red-white build. Again, we've got slightly too many cards here. There's 25 here, so we'd have to sort of pull out another 2. I actually prefer the curve on this a little better. We got a bit lower down here. We got some sort of 2 drops here, and we got a nice selection of 1 drops, mugging, shock, and smite here. We have an Act of Treason. Act of Treason is always a tricky one in limited. It's good if your opponent has a nice bomby creature that you can just take control of, but it's got to be something really juicy. So often it's not always a card you might want to include. Got quite high costed damage spells, which can be useful in a limited format. This very aggressive Warmonger Hellkite. So you'd have to be sure, if you're going to be playing that you have the upper hand in there. But yeah, that's roughly at this point what a red-white build might look like in there. So moving on to the final colour combination. So this is our red-blue build. Again, quite much more cards than we need. Some cuts I might choose to make is I could take out these slivers here. Maybe just to cut back on some of our 3-drop stuff. And these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we've got 4 more cuts we'd have to make. What's interesting with the red-blue is we've got both burn that we can use as removal and also some counter spell and bounce stuff. So this red-blue build is actually quite controlling. It's again got our Mercurial Pretender, which will create copies of things, but then there's this sort of really aggressive high-end Warmonger Hellkite, which again we'd have to be careful of when we play it because of this ability that all the creatures attack each combat if able clause on it. So, you know, it's debatable, would we take that out? Would we take out some of the more aggressive cards in here to make more of a sort of red-blue controlling type thing? Maybe one of our problems is that there's just if we start cutting creatures, we're going to end up with quite a low or lower creature count when we compare it to our other support cards, our instants and stuff like that. Anyway, something to think about. As you saw, it's pretty difficult with such a diverse card pool. So we ended up with a sort of white-blue flyers and control. This red-blue, I don't know quite what you call it, depends which way you go, but it is more of a using the red and the blue together in more of a controlling way. And then the red-white aggressive build. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.